Hey folks, this is just a short update video to my new races video. I stated incorrectly in that video that there was no updates to Tritons, and maybe I guess I misinterpreted or said the wrong thing. When I actually looked at it, I did a side-by-side comparison real quick looking through the D&D Beyond version of Volo's Guide to Monsters and the version in Mythic Odysseys of Theros, and I did not see any differences. The difference there is they added darkvision to the Triton. It never had it. A lot of people have been questioning that for 2 years, 3 years almost at this point, since Volo's Guide has been out. How can a race that's physically acclimated to the depths in the bottom of the ocean not be able to see in the dark in the waters where they live? So I took a screenshot, or a picture rather, of my copy of Volo's Guide to Monsters. So you can see over here to my left what you got originally as a Triton. Your ability score improvements, you got movement speed and swim speed, you could breathe water and air, you got control air and water, which gave you 3 different spells, emissary of the sea, which lets you be able to communicate simple ideas to creatures that breathe water, and then guardian of the depths, which is the one that everybody kind of questioned. You have resistance to cold damage and ignore any drawbacks caused by being in a deep underwater environment, but you never had dark vision. So if we go over here to D&D Beyond and look at the version in Mythic Odysseys of Theros, you can see here it has everything we just talked about, but they also added in dark vision. So that's the Mythic Odysseys of Theros version. So what I did yesterday is I went to the races and I went down to Volo's Guide and I saw Triton here in Volo's Guide and I clicked view Triton details because this is the whole section from that. And I said, okay, well, let me just check to see if there was anything different. And lo and behold, dark vision is now added here where it was not previously. And just to double check myself again, I went and downloaded the most recent errata of Volo's Guide to Monsters, which is also from 2017. And all it did was clarify that under control air and water, that ability that gives you the spells, it says you can't do so again. Now reads you can't cast that spell with it again because control air and water gives you 3 different spells. And what it was saying is previously it was read that if you cast one spell, you couldn't cast any again. Now it's you can cast basically each one once a long rest. But they added in dark vision. They didn't update the errata. There's really no communication about this as far as I can see, but it has shown up in the digital versions. My thoughts are they typically don't release errata until they release a new published version of a book. So my guess is when the physical version of Mythic Odysseys of Theros comes out in July, they'll release an errata and possibly have another version of the printing of Volo's Guide to Monsters kind of associated with that, and that's when we'll see the update to dark vision. It's been applied to all Tritons in D&D Beyond, but it still has not been applied, obviously, to the physical books of Volo's Guide to Monsters because, you know, they've been out for almost 3 years. So I did want to say thank you to everybody who brought that to my attention. I wanted to make sure I called that out in a separate video. So there is one small change, a change that makes perfect sense and honestly I thought was missing from the beginning, but it's there now. So fun fact too, if you want to see a little bit of a loop, go check on eBay the limited edition cover of Volo's Guide to Monsters. It's selling for a ridiculous amount of money right now. I guess it was truly in limited edition. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like I said, I feel like dark vision was just sorely missed from the get-go, but now it's at least been rectified. Unfortunately, like I said, it wasn't openly communicated anywhere, and like this also makes people think, myself included, like, well, we're going back and we're tweaking this race, why don't we go back and tweak some of the other races where there's a little bit of imbalance? Dragonborn. Anyway, thank you again to my patrons over on Patreon for continuing to support me. And if you haven't subscribed already, now would probably be a really good time to do so. And also ring the notification bell, as these videos covering Theros are basically just going to keep coming out as soon as I can make them. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.